Hello.
How are you?
Good.
I hope you have a good time.
Thanks. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Hope you have a good time.
Thanks.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Hope you have a good time.
Thanks.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Hope you have a good time.
Thanks.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Hope you have a good time.
Thanks.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Hope you have a good time.
Thanks.
Here on the lot, welcome everybody.
Hi, everyone.
That was, man, we were committed to that shit.
We were.
We nailed it. We only rehearsed that for 20 minutes before this. Hello.
It took a while.
Oh, God.
That's because we're all hanging out in Olivia's pool, ultimately.
Man, what a show. I know we got some other things that have been going on that we definitely want to address. And I know people are desperately wondering if Eve 6 is going to show up. And I guess you'll have to stay tuned to find out. But I do really want to dig into this show, too, at some point tonight, because it was a great show. I don't know the cool vernacular. Banger. Yeah, thank you. But no, first, I guess you want to address the elephant in the room. I don't even know how to transition into this because I'm not fully caught up to speed with what the fuck's happening. So,
Well, it starts with Ryan in a tweet.
Yeah, basically, as I am wont to do, during the show the other night, I was tweeting about how PHiSH is the best band of all time. And somehow the Twitter algorithm puts this at Eve 6's doorstep. I don't know how it ended up there. It escaped PHiSH Twitter, and then Eve 6 retweeted it. And to be honest, I had never heard of Eve 6 until the other night. But then suddenly I have hundreds of notifications of people being like, either who is PHiSH, or like PHiSH sucks. So that was nice.
Yes.
And then this morning, our own Woody jumped in on the train.
Tell us your part, Scott.
I thought Ryan took a lot of backlash for that, and I figured I would just jump on the grenade and just, kind of deflect a little bit of it. And I had a very enjoyable morning with the whole thing, to be honest with you. I thought it was great.
You guys were like, you just got into a bag of catnip, and meaning like Kevin, Fam, and Scott. I wasn't talking to you about it, Ryan, but like all day today, these guys were just like fucking geeking out about the back and forth with them.
Well, it was so funny.
It was funny, and it's dope.
It's been very funny.
One negative side effect, though, is I've had that stupid fucking song stuck in my head on repeat all day.
Thank God I didn't know it. I'd never heard it before, so I can't.
Wait, fam, can you let all of us know, for those of you who are like, who the fuck's Eve 6? Can you just give us a quick, real fast? You got to hit it fast. Just give us a fast rendition.
I would swallow the rhymes, I would choke on the rhyme. Oh, so the lack thereof would leave me empty inside. Swallow my doubt, turn it inside out. Find nothing but faith in nothing. Want it to my hand tender, heart in a blender. Watch it spin around to a beautiful oblivion. Rendezvous, then I'm through with you. That's all I got.
Yeah, and then like the
yeah. SoCal is where my mind stays, but it's not my state of mind. I'm not as ugly, sad as you. Yeah.
You got the date, fam. You got the date.
Or am I origami, loaded up and just pretend, demented as the motives in your head? I would swallow my pride, I would choke on the rhymes, but the lack thereof would leave me empty inside. Swallow my doubt, turn it inside out, find nothing but faith in nothing. Want it to my tender heart in a blender. Watch it spin around to a beautiful oblivion. Rendezvous, then I'm through with you.
Hell yeah.
There was a time, I guess, when Eve 6 came out that the big thing to do was to put a number in your name. Maroon 182 and Blink 6 and all those bands.
I was a big, Maroon 182 fan, big time. They had a great song. I remember that one. It was excellent. Something like Moves Like Jagger.
And now the guy's on The Masked Singer, right?
Sorry, I hate to interrupt, but I'm seeing something in the chat that Chad got kicked out the other night for saying he liked the number show.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's be careful.
Yeah. Fam has a thing about loosely reiterating things falsely. So let's be very accurate with the terminology.
No, I feel like there's more context behind this.
Yes, and the context is Chad said last night's show. He said, yeah, last night's show, which was the night before. So we're talking about the number one was top 10. And I even gave him a reprise, like a chance. I was like, top 10 what? Like he could have said top 10 of 2021. He could have said top 10 of night ones in Vegas,
top 10
but he just said top 10, and we couldn't have that. We had to let him go.
He's coming for my bit.
He actually said of all time.
That's something I would say.
I would say it was top 10 of Fall Tour 2021.
I would say it's top 5 of Fall Tour easily.
Well, I think
you would go top 5 with it. The number show. I think
you thought 3.0 Stanner Ryan was bad.
I will say the Army of One
is here, boys.
I feel like this is a trap. I feel like he's trying to bait me into like blowing up on his opinion. I'm not gonna do it. I was like, good for you, Ryan. You like that show? I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
What do you think? What do you think about last night's show?
I think there've only been 9 or 10 shows on the Fall Tour anyway, so.
Yeah, definitely top 10 then.
Definitely. Let's talk about last night.
I think last night's show proved kind of what I was saying about second sets and how being trapped to the progression. It wasn't just that it was a theme and a gag. It's that it was counting backwards down the number line. So they had a very specific set of songs they could play that trapped them into a rough second set. Last night's, when they actually had control over it, was masterful the way they put the show together. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was, as from a performance standpoint, kind of blew night one out of the water. I mean, obviously the gimmick goes a long way for night one, but so we'll get right into it, I guess, with Olivia's Pool. What were you guys thinking when that came on?
I want Shafty.
I was thinking name show because, that was a theory being thrown around a lot.
Yeah. I love the Wooks that were like, oh yeah, I know a guy named Axela.
Oh my
I thought it was
I thought I am hydrogen, like that's my name.
It's I, right? So it's meaning come on. That's when I got really laughing very hard at the stretches that were being made.
Yeah, like isn't Michael Jackson's kid named Shade or something? I think that's
no, it's Pillow or something. Blanket. No, it's Blanket. Yeah, his kid's name's Blanket. But here's the deal. I thought right off the bat, they trolled us so perfectly in these first couple songs. And it had everybody going like, not only was name the big theory, then the big theory was alternative versions of songs, right? So like when Axilla 2 came in, right, it was like, oh, it's going to be all like Slow Llama is going to happen. And then all these other different, versions of songs.
I thought the first song, they were like saying, fuck you, it's not going to be anything because they're like, you all just go on an oblivious fool because everybody, and they were like right off like, nah.
And a right on with that too. Accurate.
A+, I'll give it a Benz, one of these. A+ freaking troll by I never know how to do it. A+ troll by freaking PHiSH there.
Yeah. I thought even though Axla kind of disappointed people, I think because they like it eliminated the fact that it was a gimmick. It was they took it for a long walk, and it was fucking rad.
Yeah, I love that.
Rad.
Scott, if you gotta go, you could just say it on the air. We're not that formal here.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for calling me out, but I could go upstairs and grab beer, and that's all.
Well, I needed to bring people's attention to it because they'd be like, "Why the fuck did Scott dip?"
Well, that makes me think.
That ending,
you can't get away with that anymore. You're once a year now.
It scares me that they've done Axela 2 twice now. That the real version, the good version of Axela, is going to be shelved.
The good version.
It's like 110 to 40 of all time. 2's got a lot of catching up to do, man.
Yeah,
but also, what do you mean the good version? Axilla, you don't like Axilla 2?
No, I think
they don't execute
either, Sam.
Yeah, I agree with Tom Marshall that they never should have redone the lyrics to that song.
But also, if they're gonna play it like they did last night,
so do Axilla 1 with the Axilla 2 ending.
Okay,
and everybody's happy.
Yeah, I take that.
Axela
Would you
2
call that
has
Axela
ending
3?
on the album though? Like what? I don't
1.5.
understand.
No, I think that's Axela 3 if you
Right,
add them
yeah.
together like that.
All right.
There you go.
It's actually 406,680 or whatever bullshit. Yeah.
Actual 3.0.
Yeah. I think what they originally changed the words for was they felt like it had a catchy enough hook that maybe if it wasn't about weird armpits and witches and weird shit like that, that maybe they might have a chance to get it on the radio. And so they turned it into like this summer, bop song that was an attempt, at I think kind of making it
people
more.
just fucking around last night saying that Axel is like a name.
Yeah.
That's just Wook's
The
name.
name of the song.
People have said that for years.
That's
They don't
nobody's
realize-
name.
That's the witch's name. Supposedly, that's the witch's name in the story. Axela is the name of the witch in the Gamehenge lore. It would
Really?
be like
No, I don't think the lyric says that. I don't think the
that's
lyric
not what
says
the
that.
lyric says at all.
I've always heard it, or
I detected faint axilla scent,
Right,
and it
that's
put
what
me
I'm
off my
saying.
appetite.
That means your
Right.
fucking armpit stinks. Like it's very
Right.
clear.
You smell like a wolf.
That's not somebody's name.
No, I mean, to be fair,
Now, to be fair.
To be fair.
I'm never going to use that one again, but it was a good way to get off of that.
At all.
Nice.
Oh.
No, but the jam for that Axela 2 was phenomenal. And that was a really special way to start the show, I
Did it
think.
pass 20 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like 21, I think.
That shit went to the stratosphere.
Also,
I think
shout
it
out to
was-
Jen, who immediately noticed that I have Goose on in the background. Anyway, continue.
Of course you do.
wow.
And then after killing it in Axela, they go into really sweet Mike's groove, a true Mike's groove with hydrogen, which is the best way to do it. And that also had
over
legs.
the mics. Don't gloss over that mics.
Yeah, that was a
No,
Yeah, that was
that's-
great. Martian Monster teases.
I
They like
couldn't.
modulated in and out of the song like twice. It was really
Yep.
cool.
dope.
You would never let me gloss over anything. Kev, tell us what you thought about the mics.
I liked it. I mean, it seemed like it had a little more mustard than the other versions. It seems like in 4.0, it's become a first set thing and it's lost some of its monsterness. But last night they were really getting on the verge of that before
I think
the
you mean
drop.
3.0 and 4.0. Mike's has really stepped it up.
Really? I thought it like being in the first set, it's kind of like
No, but starting with the Deer Creek version, the Shoreline version, even the Phoenix version that I was
Deer
at
Creek was
last
good.
week. The Deer Creek one went type 2 for a while, but the Shoreline and Phoenix ones
That was good.
both were a lot more patient than we've seen in a long time.
Wasn't
Jams
the
were a bit
AC one
longer.
pretty decent too, as I remember?
Probably. I think
I'm
they've
pretty
really-
sure the AC mics was decent.
Yeah. And I bet you this is a situation where I think Trey has forgotten again that the second jam exists, which is okay because if they're going to take the first one type 2 like this, I don't mind.
Yeah. No, that's true. And I think I don't know what I think.
No, that's a really interesting thing because they kind of inverted the jam, right? Like, or they just snuck it in before they typically would. If you normally are looking at this long of a mics, you're normally going, oh, it had a second jam, which in some ways this really didn't. It kind of did all the stuff.
Second,
In the first jam, yeah.
Right, in the first jam, and then just kind of had the moment where it ends and then moved into hydrogen, which in some ways is more old school, right? I mean, to me,
Right.
that second jam was like a more kind of late in the 90s type thing, whereas like the first mics in hydrogen we could pause were more just straight up, that first jam, then I am hydrogen.
Well, yeah, it's more of that was more of a 95 and onward thing, I think. I don't remember when the second jam was, but it's definitely, in 1.0, it was more of a first jam is the type 1, and then you go out there in the second jam. And here this year, in the few versions we've seen, they've gone a similar route to what we saw. I think the first time we saw this was really Nashville 2018 on one of my favorite tours ever, fall 2018.
I mean,
But that one went full type 2 in the first jam instead of the second. So, we've seen a continuation of that trend here. And I think last night's is one of the best mics we've seen in a long time.
It was very good. Very, very good.
So much fun. And traditional hydrogen, I think,
Love
you
that.
know, and just absolutely gorgeous, you know, and like perfectly placed. I love how they're kind of going back to that. There in 3.0, it became like 7 songs in the middle of the mics. You know, it'd be like they throw in some, you know, bouncing
like
or
contact.
I mean, listen, a full set Mike's Groove has its endearments. And I would someday I would like to see a full set Mike's Groove that has a hydrogen somewhere in the middle of the set.
There was at one of their
songs in between each.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Kev? We'll give you a
chance. I was going to say one of those festivals they did Mike's Simple Contact Weekapa.
Yeah, I like the contact in there.
I liked my favorite was Mike's ass-handed Wickapog, and then Mike started Wickapog a little bit ass-handed because I don't know if he did on purpose or if he flubbed, but it was like a dirty Mike's Mike's Groove. So I think that was probably my favorite version. But I'd like the classic. I like a standard Mike's Hydrogen Pog is really good. Way to go. And then after this kind of insane opening to a show, because keep in mind we had Olivia's Pool, but then it was
the Weekapog.
Yeah, I mean, you can't.
That wasn't no standard Weekapog.
It was a very good Weekapog. I don't think it went Type 2, but it was a very good Type 1 Weekapog.
We could have come back. It's all right.
Yeah, I'll give you 1.5 is a good call. Actually, I like that.
I've been slacking a little bit. I haven't re-listened to very much.
I haven't re-listened either yet.
Yeah, but I do think it was at least on par with one of my favorites, which is 12:30:18. It was at least on par with that one. I think there was a modulation in it, if I remember.
Do you have any favorite versions that aren't from 2018 by chance?
There are a few. It comes and goes.
I just wanted to know.
Gold star.
A handful. I have a few favorites from 2021.
I love that. I think we all do at this point, man. Yeah. Holy shit. What a year.
Yeah. It was my favorite Axel too, for sure. I'll say that.
Yeah. Might be a contender for greatest of all time. Maybe.
Yeah, on that one, definitely. But then I think sometimes I honestly, we have some recency bias here that we do have to be careful of. Like, definitely. I do think, you know, there's like, I was listening back to some 3.0 stuff and, you know, just briefly, and like I was going, oh, you know, so many of this stuff like that's happening now was kind of happening in late 3.0, you know, and definitely kind of starting in that fall 2018, you know, and maybe even in 2017, you know, like with Baker's, you know,
I think what the band has now, I think what the band has now is they're tighter. And they're playing the compositions better, which
they're more rehearsed.
Yeah, which is like the sound is very different than it was fall 2018, even because fall 2018 the jamming was incredible, but there was a lot of slop in the composed sections.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
No.
I think all of what you're saying is very true, with the exception of Mercury. Mercury so far has been much better in 3.0.
Yeah, it's been kind of a disappointment this year. I'm wondering if we're going to see it tonight or tomorrow night.
I think the ones we have seen have been pretty short. I think the last one that they played was pretty good, if I remember. That one actually was probably the longest, but the rest of
not terribly long though.
Mercury's have been kind of.
I'm fine with it. Put it on a shelf.
No, you
shelf that shit.
Such a good song, man.
We haven't had a big Mercury since.
Mercury's great, man.
No, we haven't had a really big Mercury since 2019.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
Mercury is
good
at best, and that's asking a lot.
Nice, good one. You nailed that.
Has anybody called a planetary set?
Ooh, listen to you.
Mercury.
Soul Planet, Mercury.
I wasn't even
Venus and Furs.
Well, the Rads do a song called Fountains of Neptune.
Dude, they could jam out Jupiter's, the freaking symphony, like they do.
Yeah.
Also, 2001. I wasn't gonna do it.
Zarathustra.
Yeah, they could do like the planets.
Nah, man. PHiSH did the countdown. That shit's strictly 2001 though.
Is there a song called Jupiter besides that Moe's song that talks about Jupiter?
There's Drops of Jupiter. Yeah.
What about Saturn?
Isn't that by Eve 6? No.
No, I think so.
I'm pretty sure that's who that is.
Yeah.
Is there a song about Uranus?
Here we go.
Ass-handed, maybe?
Don't we have a button somewhere for that?
I know, but I only have the one with my daughter.
But here's what I'm
There you go. That's the one.
Here's my question. Speaking of ass-handed.
Wait, you're not jumping ass-handed. You just gave me shit
No.
for
I'm not jumping.
Wicked
I'm not jumping ass-handed. But do we think there are 6 shows left in the year, with the fact that they've been jamming everything? 5.
6.
Tonight, tomorrow.
The 6th show is 2022.
Oh,
okay. All right.
What?
I think they're similar to how
Wody. I needed to know when to bust that out.
You won Wody, and suddenly you're just like all over, like your confidence is just gone like. Whoosh.
I love it. I love it.
I love it. But
all right.
Do we think Bag and Bowie? Do we think they're coming back in the next 6 shows?
Yeah,
Bowie definitely.
They haven't, but what he means is are they getting jammed? Because
are they getting jammed? Because we haven't seen that in
Bowie definitely
15 years.
Bowie did
ask the question.
No, yes. I think
they're gonna play Bowie and they're gonna do a Bowie.
They're doing Bowie tomorrow night because they know
it's coming, but it's when it does, man.
I do. They're gonna jam out a Bowie in Vegas, and they're gonna jam out a Bag in New York. And
I hope so.
I don't think so with the Bag. I don't personally.
They're doing Bowie tomorrow night because they know that I've been waiting all tour to see a Bowie.
Oh yeah, you'll be there tomorrow night, won't you?
Yes, I will be there tomorrow night.
All right. Anyway, look, let's get back to the set list.
Oh, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it. So after the Wickapog, they went into a Shade, which I don't know how much we want to talk about Shade.
I called a quick nap.
Shade so much.
I would like to
talk about it, but I absolutely.
You know what? That's a drink break. I'll be right back.
Let me get my 6 pages of notes that I have out here on this excellent placement of Shade and how Shade is phenomenal. Yes, Shade is a great ballad, and I think it was a nice placement too, because it was just like everything was freaking so nasty and kind of dirty and like just perfect, like
palate cleanser, like kind of cleans things and soothes things a little bit.
Exactly. It was
so like eating sherbet in between a course of a meal.
Here, so let's talk. I will say this, and I know I'm probably the only ballad guy out there, but like I know I'm
it's a weird thing to claim. Some
guy.
Yeah, I think every guy considers himself a ballad guy.
Let him go on.
I do not consider myself a ballad guy at all. I never have.
Kevin.
I don't need that nonsense.
But here's the deal. Okay, well, whatever it is, but like they have really been nailing the ballads in 4.0. They have been playing them well. Yeah. Trey's singing lends to that them being better, and like they really have placed them well. Like to me, they've like found a really good spots for almost every time they've dropped into something slower and something so like, and maybe that points back to what you're saying, Kev, that they're or at least Trey's thinking about those things and on a more advanced moments of thinking.
Well, yeah, he knows how to string together a great rock concert. Like he knows how to build a set. That's what it is, and he knows when he needs it.
Except when he doesn't.
I like Shade for what it is. I just feel like they have better ballads that have been missed out on recently because he goes to Shade a lot.
Wait, I would say just while we're on the topic of ballads, what are your guys' opinion on Lonely Trip?
I fucking love the song.
Love it.
Yeah,
I love the Soul Singer vibe.
I think it's the best ballad.
I think we're pretty high on a Lonely Trip.
I was so happy. Last weekend,
it's very good.
Was not expecting.
I heard it. I was standing with Kevin when it was played
out of Haley's, right?
Out of Haley's at Hershey, and
wait, I was standing with you too, asshole.
Wait, I don't think you were there.
No, you were up front with your wife.
Oh yeah, Mrs. Wook and I needed to have some us time because the whole tour we'd been with you idiots.
Anyway, I thought the very first time it was played, I still think is the best one ever. But I mean, that's attendance bias, maybe. I don't know.
The one at Dick's, I was really into.
It was so good, man.
It was really good. I was really happy to see it last weekend.
Lonely Trip wasn't played last night, and I don't want to get too far off track here, but I do want to tell fam, I agree 100% with everything you just said about the Shade. So,
love you, buddy.
I fucking love you too. Let's keep it going.
Was that from our account?
What
happened? I never
was that you?
No.
Llama's out there for the official fucking account.
Unreal.
Dude,
not
on our own
Llama.
show.
He
So
likes
Llama,
man, it's
Llama,
okay.
what did you make? What did you make of like Lonely Trip? What do you think about ballads? Where do you want
Looks
one?
like sports, man.
What is the score of the
Llama,
World Series game?
Llama, what's your favorite ballad? Come on, talk to me about ballads.
He's muted.
He's
I like Waste.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
call, dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like that one.
That's probably the best one out of all of them, except for the
There's-
cover they do that I really
Yeah.
like. Circus Comes to Town.
The funny thing is, though, they played I Always Wanted It This Way next. They didn't play a ballad.
Well,
Hey, Llama.
woo-dee-woo.
Llama.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
Good.
I hope you have a good time.
Thanks.
Nice. Had to bring that back. All right. So, what I really wanted to talk about from this first set, I mean, Axel in the beginning, but then the way they go out with I Always Wanted It This Way. I
Fucking
have
huge.
started high on that song from the beginning and have gone straight up from there. Last night, it was perfect way to end it, I thought.
I want to break out my shades because the future is so bright when they play that one.
Dude, it is fantastic. Whatever. We'll let Scott. We'll all say the right take, and then let Scott have his wrong take. So,
I don't like I Always Wanted It This Way.
So okay.
Oh,
do we have to
wow.
have
Our
him on?
guess.
Don't we feel like we've had enough guests already for like? So, like, dude. Okay, for one, I love Paige's vocals on this, and they are so poor. I mean, they are so bad. But the
Can I just say that Paige, towards the end of the song, tried to do a higher register thing
It was
like
great.
Trey's been doing, and it sounded so bad.
it was so
It was
good, so
hilarious.
earnest. They're just like
Still
like,
better
come
than
on.
Mike.
Right.
It's still
Can I do
leaps
the
and
music?
bounds.
He's
better.
trying to see. He was trying to.
Come on, Rye.
He's trying to get into the fucking Getty Lee range there.
Yeah,
so he
right.
was practicing for.
What he's trying to do is be just a fun singing dad. You know, you just want to go, Dad, good job, buddy, up there.
Nikita, do you
You're trying
feel
so
left
hard.
out of this sunglasses thing, or is that just me?
Nah, fuck them.
Well, when you say some garbage takes, we have to like differentiate ourselves
Listen,
from you.
the
Why-
jam,
It looks like
the
an
jam was
alien.
phenomenal.
Terrible
song
fucking
sucks.
song. Terrible.
I would much
Absolutely
rather than
fucking
play
awful
Most
song.
Events Aren't Planned, which is a significantly better Page song.
Oh,
that
amazing
also
in
has
comparison.
a fantastic jam.
Amazing in comparison.
You know, I think of the one they did last night is like his Blow Away. It's a great end of the first set song for the keyboard
God,
player.
if you can
I
get
will
the
say,
first
hey,
3.5,
Kevin, stop
4
being
minutes
on our
where the
side.
lyrics are,
one of
it's
my
fine.
favorite.
I like how Tom said Paige is trying to be a vocalist, where for like most of PHiSH's history, he carried the band vocally. Trey only learned how to fucking sing in like the last like 3 or 4 years. In reality,
I'd say after Fare Thee Well,
He's just
started.
taken more risks recently. But
I would say 2018 he really started stepping out.
Oh my
with
god.
Bowie,
This guy.
he prepared.
2018.
No,
Yes.
Bowie
it
was
was
2016.
Wait, it was Dead and No, it's not Dead. It was Fare Thee Well.
In
Preparing
2015.
for Fare Thee Well is when he first started to, and then in 2016 for Bowie. Wait, when was Bowie? 16 or
Oh yeah,
2016,
16.
yeah.
You're
Okay,
right.
I'm going way
That's when
back.
he locked it
In
in.
like early
I
days,
just like
and then
2018. I
Billy
don't know if you guys
Breeze
know that.
happened, and this dude like learned how to sing for Billy Breeze, the album. You guys are talking like recent shit. Oh, and
There's
Well,
different
yeah,
stages in
this was
Trey's
a
vocal
band of
development.
4 dudes that could not fucking sing.
Well,
for
1990,
ever.
before Billy Breeze, you're right. He was doing that like angry talk singing thing.
I thought when
I
the
like
Billy
that
Breeze
description.
album changed everything in terms of vocal capabilities for this band, and it only got
Yeah.
better as years went on. That's all.
I will
I
say,
will-
I do really like the tongue-in-cheek joke he made during Sample on Tuesday night in Santa Barbara when he tried to sing it high and then couldn't.
He should sing it. Yeah, he said, I hope everybody notices I'm singing it in this higher. Yeah.
And
pitch.
no, but he was like, I shouldn't have tried that. Like it didn't work.
But
That was funny.
okay, but we're saying higher pitches. What is really happening is he's trying to sing it the right way, the way it's sung in the studio. Right now, what you're saying, Scott.
Is that how it was sung on the studio version?
I have a
Yes.
whole different thing. on this.
Yes.
I'll let you finish. And then go. But
the point of Billy Breeze to me, and why I will always say it's their best studio albums, because Steve Lillywhite was a perfect producer for them, and he mixed their vocals better than anyone has ever mixed it ever. And then you're right, they did try harder to be better singers. Yeah. I think the real difference has been when Trey started getting involved with the Broadway stuff, when the Hands for on a Hard Body thing became a deal. Jeff Tansky got involved, and him and Jeff Tansky, Tansky became his like vocal guru and taught him how to sing step better as a Broadway singer, how they train people to sing on Broadway, which is taking actors that are really not singers and making them good singers by teaching them different techniques like singing in higher octaves and not falling into what you're currently easy for you. And hopping up into those higher ranges. And so I personally freaking love it. Even when they fail, and even it's just like they're trying. And I love that they're trying, because they've always just thrown away their vocals. They've made it like, let's just get through them, instead of going, let's make this fun and let's make this a good part of it, you know? That's just me. Sorry.
What you got, Llama?
You're right. You're 100% right.
That's fair.
All right, Kev wants to throw it to Llama. What do you think, Llama?
Oh, I was just going to say, you get your ass handed to you every day.
So is that your way of trying to move us along?
No, wait. Because the point of what we were discussing wasn't if Trey can sing. It was Paige trying to be a vocalist. And the fact of the matter is, Paige, throughout all of those years until recently, was the best singer in PHiSH.
Well, and I will say his harmonies are great.
Yeah.
He's definitely similar to, I'm probably just because I'm watching this, but Peter from Goose definitely shines more singing.
Not even paying attention to the conversation.
It ties in. It works. I'm drawing a comparison.
I mean,
no, I think
I should have taken Llama's pass into ass handed.
Yeah.
Well,
I try to warn you. You get your ass handed to you every show.
Every day, every show.
I know this. We were discussing a Paige song, and if we should just move on, we can. But I wanted to
go for it.
Go for it.
On Trey's singing, okay?
Yeah.
So I have two things to say. One is some of the word embellishments that he's putting on the vocals
are the best.
Too much. No. In certain MoMA dance, the MoMA dance. He's got to stop doing that shit.
Oh no, I like that in MoMA.
Crazy.
I like
the best thing to do for the MoMA dance is drop the lyrics completely.
Anyway, there's several examples where it is working very well, and a lot of the changes that he's made vocally, I think, are working very well. At the same time, point number two, I really think we're possibly looking at vocal cord surgery for him after New Year's.
Trey?
I think there's something.
That number line was rough.
I think there's something wrong with his voice. I heard it a little bit throughout summer tour, and it's getting, I feel, worse in fall. Only in very small increments you can hear it in certain songs when he really not even tries to go for it, because I feel like he knows better when he's going for it, so he pulls back a little bit.
Maybe he's got a cold due to cough or something.
I did hear that number line.
I think there's something. I think he's damaged something, and it's going to be surgery. It's been carrying on throughout.
Way to put that out there.
I'm a doctor now as well, so I know.
Well, now if it happens, we're all going to blame you.
Why the fuck do you let me talk? Can we just keep going? What was next? Ass-handed?
Scott matriculated from psychedelic state.
Jesus. Next time I raise my hand, just tell me no.
Second set, ass-handed to kick things off. What a fun fucking way to kick things off.
Anyway.
And I think, in my opinion, this was Fishman's time to come out, because in the first set, Trey was kind of the MVP of the start. Mike got the middle with the Mike's groove, just fucking nailed it. Paige, as you know, I know you guys disagree, but I thought fucking killed it, and I just wanted it this way with his synths and his sounds and jamming it and jamming it out. And then they went to halftime, and Fish is out there in the locker room, and he's like, "All right, let's go." And he had to psych himself up, and he came out with ass-handed, and that's really, in my mind, the perfect PHiSH, right? Him just being silly, playing some funny shit.
And there was a little extra in the jam, in the Zeppelin jam part at the end.
It's a long version. I mean, it's a 6-minute version. They don't typically go that long. I mean,
I liked when apparently the rest of the band didn't get the memo that Trey wanted to jam it because they maybe PHiSH didn't, because he tried to end it at the normal time. When I could hear Trey was starting to vamp a little. And so when PHiSH
almost like it was organic and unplanned, and they were just going for it.
Yeah, no, and then Trey went back into the ascending lick that they took it out from. I thought it was a really cool jam, and obviously I think we all saw the jam coming a little bit based on the trend that we've seen in the last bunch of shows.
I thought it was cool. Yeah, and I will say, just as a neutral, we sometimes have, and Deanna, my wife, who she was hanging out watching the show, she cannot. Yes, God love her. Because that sometimes isn't easy for her, but she ass-handed just is not her jam, and we're just always going what are they doing here? And I do worry that sometimes those inside jokes, and they're for us, they're not for different kinds of folks, but
they're for that is for Fishman. That joke. It's not. I don't even think it is for us. I think it is 100% for himself.
Oh yeah.
And you either laugh with them or you don't, and that's fine. I don't judge you if you don't. I know a lot of fans that don't like it, but I don't think he gives a fuck. I think he does it for himself.
Oh, that's clear. He doesn't care.
Without a doubt.
Right. 100%.
Just like the samples. Ass-handed is the song version of his samples.
Type 2.
I'm surprised we didn't get any in this version, actually.
Yeah.
No.
No,
I guess you're right. That's weird. I didn't even realize that.
Really, the only sample that's made it out has been the sample. I don't know. We're pretty sure that all the band members watch and follow Wook Plus. So they must
the warble.
I don't think so.
No, they do. They must have seen our poll, and when we ran a poll, 95% of the people said we
Yeah.
And
So the only answer.
Yeah, it was the best answer.
Yeah.
Right? And it's the best sample. Yeah.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
I hope you have a good time.
Thanks.
Nailed it.
We were all supposed to say it then. Why didn't we all come in?
Hey,
Right?
Llama, what song?
Let's do it all in unison.
No, it's all right.
Llama, what song did you want to hear last night, Llama?
I wanted to hear Llama last night.
Oh, Tweezer was the answer. Come on, I was throwing you.
What song does everybody always want to hear? What a tweezer that was, huh?
Make up for that other one in LA.
Well, it's really shocking that a tweezer
Make
show
up for. Hang on. Rewind here.
The other one wasn't really a tweezer as much as a filler in between other songs.
But it served the purpose of the greater set so well, and I'll give you a pass because you weren't there. But the energy in the building during that second set,
oh my god, yeah,
it was insane. When they dropped into LA Woman, everybody went nuts.
I bet
it was so good.
So Kev, hold on, I missed that. So you're saying it made up for the short tweezer, which really wasn't a short tweezer. It's just that the way, again, sometimes they drop into different jams in them. In some ways, it was a long one because and I don't know
two Santos in there.
Right. I mean, I don't know. That's an interesting take. And this one is more of a traditional tweezer in some ways in that
it's solid really 13, 14 minutes. It's, a nice chunk of, tweezer.
19 minutes.
This is how Fucker Pants ends up winning the jam bracket because people automatically connect whatever jam comes out of tweezer into tweezer, which I guess is part of it being a great vehicle. But last night was a particularly good tweezer, I thought. And it set up the second set really well. And the whole second set just took off from there.
I concur 100%.
Tom Glancy got the right idea. Those songs
are
were
you
in
alive?
The tweezer in
are
LA.
you a real
yes.
person, Llama? Not you.
Yeah, man. I'm legit.
Yeah, man.
I know.
Yeah, man.
I love this guy.
Now, I will say this, and this will probably make Ryan happy, but I think this tweezer sounded like a 3.0 tweezer, like a good, damn! Yeah. So, you know what I mean? In the sense, it it didn't have some of the and almost like the Scooby-Doo legs that I call it, and like some of the different effects and different like jam tricks that PHiSH is like in particular Trey has been using throughout the 4.0 like era so far. I think it really you didn't see that in this tweezer as much. Like it really sounded more like a really solid groove based kind of, tweezer that we normally saw in like a 2018, 2017 tweezer, like you did
2019. Some really good tweezers in 19.
Exactly. So it just kind of felt to me more like that instead of what you're talking about, Ryan, and
there was
what you
one
got.
good tweezer in 19,
but it was arguably the best tweezer of that decade. So
of that era, of the whole 3.0 era,
which also happens to be. Oh no, I guess it's more than that decade. Wow, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And that lick keeps coming back. I mean, it's so good. That 12-30-19 tweezer is so good that Trey just keeps playing it. By the way,
yeah.
Like,
well, it's that progression that's kind of like coil as well. It came up at the 46 days the other night.
It did.
And the
up here and there.
Eugene Ruby Waves, the end of the Eugene Ruby Waves, it has it. Look at that sweetheart. Look at that guy. Wouldn't you? Hey, I would vote for that guy. Would you vote for that guy? I would
vote for that
absolutely.
Guy.
I would vote for him in a heartbeat.
Llama,
I got the right profile.
Llama, I want to get a Scooby-Doo sample. Can you remember that?
I've got one. Handy.
Oh, he's got one handy.
Oh, did you? I didn't see it. We'll have that. We'll have that next time.
Yeah.
All right.
Classic. Yeah. But
so that tweezer set up and went perfectly into a fucking ripping funky bitch. It's super funky.
May I just mention that I heard that funky bitch coming?
Oh, did you?
Heard it. We all heard it coming.
We heard Trey was playing around with the opening riff to it for 30 seconds to a minute before. I thought that was cool.
Well, when Kev talks about PHiSH planning, that's actually how PHiSH plans. They talk through their instruments and they drop things, and when somebody else picks it up, that's how they know when to hit it. And when all four of them hit it, we're into the next thing. And that's communicating via jam. That's how they discuss and plan it.
When they walked out at the Baker's Dozen when jam night and started playing,
you can't use the Baker's Dozen as an argument.
It's true. It's an isolated thing.
It was isolated. He even said that in interviews that he treated it differently than he treated any other shows. Yeah. And that normally he doesn't plan out his set list, but he had to plan it for the Baker's Dozen. Oh. That's how we know about this was all the interviews in 2017 when he was talking about his cards and making the set list. We know that he, in fact, does not fully plan out shows unless they are a special show, like the Numberline show, perhaps, or the Baker's Dozen. Can we put this fucking argument to rest and talk about this funky bitch? Because it was a phenomenal funky bitch.
It was awesome. Extended page solo, absolutely incredible Trey solo. I think it's kind of hard. Playing really, really on great display here.
Dude, and what Ryan's saying, and not to like, and maybe a good segue. There's no doubt it's so perfect. And Funky Bitch is played out of tweezer, just like Walk Away is played out of tweezer a lot because it's in the same key. It's really easy to kind of slide right into that fucking jam out of tweezer. So that's why it's kind of standard after it. But then also like he made like such a perfect little signal to say, hey, fellas, we're doing Funky Bitch. And it was so awesome to hear it. And it was just a perfect segue, perfect little moment, like to show you, like, if you could like isolate that minute and say, like, this is what PHiSH does, right? Like, to me, that was a perfect example of them.
That was PHiSH talk. That was PHiSH talking to each other.
It's how they communicate kind of right through their music. And it's just beautiful when they do that. Like, so good. And this Funky Bitch, like, is a funky bee. Like, she means business. Like, she's pissed off.
For real.
I'm a little bit afraid of her, but like in a completely respectful kind of way.
The good way. The way
there's never been any shade thrown at PHiSH playing Funky Bitch ever.
Very nice. Yes, we all love the blues.
Yeah,
we all love the blues.
So our guy, the former Woody,
gets King playing with him. If it's BB King playing the blues with him, then we don't love it. Jeez.
We were trying to go into the former Woody and what he received next, which was a very special and unique Reba. I think a fairly well executed, somewhat standard to start until we got to the end and the lyrics changed.
Well, and also there was that little bit in the middle where they kind of went out a little.
Agreed.
Which is cool. I like it because I was worried when they went out a little. I was worried that we were going to get another unfinished song.
I don't know. I guess I felt like they had been doing that in recent Rebas, but maybe they hadn't.
I don't think they have. It's an interesting. I was talking with on the most recent episode of my podcast. We moved through stormy weather.
Who had the over under on the first 46 minutes?
He definitely went over, but
yeah, he went over. But
no, I mentioned
it's a genuine connection to the actual topic. It connects. He was talking about. I had the keyboardist from the Lizards, a PHiSH cover band.
We should have made the button that like blocks out or beeps Ryan. Yeah. So like whenever he's like, my podcast.
But he was
tell people about your podcast. Plug it, please.
Okay, well I'll plug it. So we move through stormy weather. Really? It's me and a guest every episode. We take on a PHiSH song. We both pick our favorite version.
Hello.
Hi.
And we debate. That's it. Anyway, as I was saying, he was talking about how with the Lizards, they have two distinctions for a song. It's a red light song or a green light song. Red light songs for them are kind of things like Slave, Hood, Reba, stuff like that they keep inside the box pretty much all the time. And a green light song, basically anything else that can go anywhere at any time. And I think that's a good distinction to make because
sometimes you could take red light songs and turn them into green light songs like the Baker sample. Oh no, I mean they do that trick more often now.
I mean in terms of Hood, Slave, Reba, stuff like that, where the best versions are really just long, drawn out type 1 versions.
Yeah, that's exactly what sample was before they jammed it out at the Bakers. It was the first time they turned it.
Sample I wouldn't put into that category though, because it doesn't usually have much in the way of improvisation. Like there's that quick guitar solo at the end. Like Reba, Hood, Slave.
That's what I thought the point was. Isn't that what you're saying?
No, it's stuff like Reba, Hood, and Slave.
Yeah,
that
the composed pieces they were written. He wrote it out by hand. Every note in Reba was written out beforehand. Yeah.
No, but
I got you.
In Reba, Reba, Hood, and Slave, especially, would you rather have a big Type 2 excursion or
no? I want to hear the fucking record.
Yeah, no, you want to hear a nice long, drawn out Type 1 version of those songs.
And you better whistle on that motherfucker.
And so I was a little bit worried about last night and how that little excursion would go, but they brought it back in nicely.
The last two Rebas would be a good Hakuna Makitas. Oh man, I haven't heard that one. God bless her. Why is she so good? Why is she not on every week? Good. Why did she not have her own show? By the way,
I don't know. Mrs. Wook, start your own show. Let's do it.
Exactly.
That was really good.
That's A freaking plus. I mean,
I out of nowhere with the Hakuna Makita.
Freaking so A plus. But
Llama, I want a Hakuna Makita button.
Yeah.
Yes, we need one. We'll have to come up with something.
Yeah. Hakuna Matata. It means no worries. But so I do think the last two Rebas would be really interesting to do Pepsi challenge. Like again, I love to do like the last Reba.
You should do that.
Yes, Reba. The last one is what to me is like what Ryan's saying, and I think it's what is it the Shoreline Reba? I can't remember what it is. It's
the last Reba.
Yeah, the
Eugene, I think.
Eugene. Okay, so that one stays very much like he's saying, like a red light, but it's on fire. Like it's a real good version, but it's nailed and it stays.
It's a 1.0 type version.
Exactly. This one does have a little section where it's like, oh shit, like we're gonna kind of like get out of Reba for a second and kind of like take it there. And he does though. They rein it back in. And then they nice. But it and then it has
the rest of your days.
It's hard to get off anything now and talk about anything else.
Fuck
but, yeah, fair. But Kindness Daddy, we love Kindness Daddy. But
of course we do.
Back to what Tim was saying. Let's talk about those vocals to end it, which were hilarious. And I don't.
Yes.
We literally practiced for 20 minutes to get those right, and they did pretty good with like mixing it in with the normal Reba lyrics.
It's almost like they're professional musicians.
Weird.
Or they planned it.
There's, babe.
Gee, really?
Oh, they planned it. Of course they planned it.
Just come down here.
They're professional musicians.
Yeah, but they whistled. Hey, they whistled which is a good thing.
And now you can get your account going, Kevin, where you've got your burner.
No, it was. If you notice, it wasn't updated because I don't run that account. I really don't run that account. I know who does, but I don't.
Oh, well,
sure.
Hold on. And you can't reveal that?
No.
Your source?
The person asked me not to.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas. Another good example of like Kev is just the guy. I mean,
we're all Switzerland over here, man.
We're all just
it's good.
We're all just bit players. We're all bit players, and Kev is.
I mean, you. Wow.
Should we get back to the show?
And what happened after Reba?
What show?
You're muted, Llama.
Llama and Makita, you're both muted.
Yeah. So Sand came next, which was really cool.
Oh, the 1-2 motherfucker 3, right?
Yeah, that was great. I love when I saw Diana pointed it out on Twitter today. That's great.
Any other takes on Sand?
6 runs at comment. That's funny.
You know, even though Makita's muted, I can hear exactly what's going on.
Yes, 100%. You're exactly right about that.
Hear it.
Right, this week on the Makitas.
But this sand is so amazing. Like it is so.
Well, can you magnify him to show?
No, don't do it.
No, I don't want it. Oh, that's not nice.
There he is.
All right, let's talk about the sand. 1-2 motherfucking 3.
Oh, and it meant business, right off the bat. Like this thing is so good. Just like it kind of goes back to when Sand used to do this, like as much as Sand always F's to me, Sand always F's. But like, yes, you never know who's listening.
It didn't used to do that in 1.0 though.
Sorry, I'll say it.
What do you mean by that?
Sand in 1.0 was just really long Type 1 versions.
But
and they're great in their own right, but it didn't start doing this kind of thing until 3.0. And really not that much. Like you see the few isolated versions like Dick's 2012 and Vegas 14. But Sand has really had an incredible year this year and has really started stepping out again.
It was the star of Trey's shows too.
Well, it's always been a Tab staple for sure.
But I mean, just these versions. Let me ask you something, Ryan. Let me ask you, and Scott, I'll ask you this too. What do you think of the proposition that the fact that everything happened on Trey Tour and it ended up Fishman in just a 5-piece has affected what happened on Fall Tour?
Oh, I think
that's
that,
a great. I said
you go first,
but I saw Ghost of the Forest in what year was that tour?
2019.
2019.
No, couldn't have been 2019.
Spring 2019.
Yes. All right.
You lost the whole year, man. You lost the whole year.
That's when it was.
There it is. It was only 2 years ago, 2.5, I guess. Whatever. Anyway,
felt like a decade ago.
John Fishman was the difference in that Trey side project. Having Fishman with Trey was amazing. I mean, incredible with Ghost of the Forest. And Kevin, I know you don't agree. I know there's that other small dick Canadian guy.
I'm going to remix the album. I'm going to remix
you.
Oh, the other Canadian guy.
The other small dick Canadian.
Yeah.
How many Canadians do we have in the team chat?
I think just 2. I think it's just me and Lope.
Listen, it's a love thing, whatever.
Right. Do you think that specifically those last few shows of the last Tab tour affected what's been going on with this Fall tour with Fish?
100%.
Yeah, man. How could it not?
I think it started in Ghost of the Forest was my whole point. You guys cut me off.
Got it.
Well, you were taking a long time to get there.
I know.
I actually disagree with that. I don't think it started in Ghost of the Forest because I get what you mean with the Trey and Fish interplay and the side project. But I don't think it did start in Ghost of the Forest, especially because of how Ghosts influenced 2019 Fish, which we don't need to get into right now. But I think having Fish on the Tab tour and really needing to stretch out all these songs that don't normally get stretched out like that, especially with Tab, really has been seen in this Fall tour. Especially because we didn't see stuff like that happening this summer to the same extent.
It wasn't the fact that it was Fish, though. It was the fact that this time on Tab, it was the fact that it was unexpected and unplanned for at all, and that he went from having his full tab with horns to having a traditional tab to an acoustic to having an entirely new. And keeping in mind with Dez, it was already new and weird. Yeah. So they were thrown into this unexpected situation where they had to go back to the root, right? Like they had to go back to their training of just being badass musicians that jam, because they couldn't do anything else. All they could do was jam out the staples they knew. And that is what you're seeing brought into the fall tour, is that they're, jamming. And I think that is what improved it.
That is a plus golden take. Right, that is a 100%. That is, man, you are on fire with the.
We gotta clip that shit. We gotta put that on Insta tomorrow.
That is so good, because to me, again, that is the key to it. And I love PHiSH. I love the band, love the drummer. Okay, but I do think sometimes, like, we get this. Russ is great, and like when they have jams, like. Again, I think the concept of like somehow this one singular man changes, I think it's much more the circumstances, like you're saying, where they had no choice but to play these songs he was familiar with, right? Because they had lost all these band members that they were ready to play with. And I do think, Kev, going back to your argument, they do plan out the set list much more, strictly.
Well, he had.
I think Trey does write set lists with Tab anyway.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like he had, I imagine, like whole plans in his mind of what it was going to look like, and then it was like, holy shit, that's completely gone. The only thing I have left to do is jam with my old buddy who's left back here.
Wait. I don't want to cut you off, but I just realized we're like 3 minutes off the hour, and we still have like 4 songs to get to.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't realize the pace we were keeping tonight. Holy shit.
I was looking up 2.0 Sand, so that'll tell you what I've been like doing.
All right, so out of Sand, we go back to Tweezer for a little bit.
Famer, I'm disappointed that you had to look them up if they were 2.0.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, but we don't all have
there weren't that many shows.
Where am I?
Anyway, Sand back into Tweezer.
Right, and then what I thought was the best segue of the night personally was into Sigma Oasis. I thought that segue was brilliant. And it was a cool jam.
Sigma Oasis.
I would say that they've been playing Sigma Oasis too much, but I think they've been playing it really well and in a way that isn't intrusive on a set list, like a lot of ways they've introduced other songs.
I think this was an enhancement of the set list.
Yeah. No, there's definitely a lot of new song introductions over the last bunch of years, though, that have intruded on set list, and Trey has used it as kind of like I'm going to interrupt this jam in the second set for this new song I like playing.
I don't understand why somebody would just interrupt a flow.
Damn!
That idea is...
good one.
Yeah, so then I guess out of that, a really fun way to end the set was Walk Away, which I had stuck in my head all morning until I started listening to Eve 6.
Yeah,
man, you mind?
Heart in a blender, watch it spin around through a beautiful oblivion. Rendezvous, then I'm through with you.
Wait, we should hold the rest for the outro, right? Let's talk about the encore. We got about a minute left, and then you can take us out.
Oh, best 3 minutes in rock and roll music.
I'll take. Yeah, Walk Away again is a song that fits with Tweezer, right? So when you see Tweezers, look out for Walkaways, look out for
Bomb Factory is where that was established.
Yeah, but
the Bomb Factory was.
They did that at my first show too, 6/24/12, Tweezer into Walk Away.
Yes, it's such a perfect drop-in song for it. That's number one. The Sigma, I do want to just go back briefly to Sigma. I freaking love. We got a keyboard guy on. That synth that he hits when it's already there. That is just like such a freaking awesome moment. And I love that. Walk Away is rocking. It really kind of reminds me of, like, again, that funky bit where he's like, I'm just going to kick ass for a while, and this Walk Away is a perfect set ender. Perfect.
And then Julius came back.
Yes.
So we spent the whole start of the tour wondering where Julius was.
We almost made a t-shirt.
Our $1 million idea got shot down.
Thank God. Thank
The
God.
T-shirt was, that would have been a really quick sell. We would have had to maybe, really sold that fast because
Flash sale.
Well, it goes back to like we said. We think we are pretty convinced now that PHiSH listens and watches because we put out the Wookiee X device right during Dick's, and we said that they'd never played foam, and then they immediately
They did
foam.
it, yeah.
They played foam. I mean, so I don't know.
They're fucking with our merch.
Yeah, we say where's Julius, and they play Julius. I mean, I don't know.
Llama, what do you got?
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, no, I was gonna do that. You want to do that? Let's do it formally.
Smash it.
We should pre-record this. I don't have to repeat it all. But if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, and also like the video. Wody here, we thought was liking all the time because he's watched everything.
Never.
Turns out he never fucking hit it, and he liked it. He just
not what was said, you motherfuckers.
No, but if you just remember to go ahead and hit it, because if you really liked it, you should show it. Then go ahead and do that.
Smash that like button, motherfucker.
I went back and smashed all of them.
Scott, when the show ends, hang out for a minute.
You can hang out afterwards.
Thank you.
Fam, you want to take us out on like a lightning round version of the? Well, wait, we forgot reprise. We got to say reprise, but
best 3 minutes in rock music. Can I just say thank you so much for having me tonight? It's great to be back on.
Yeah.
This guy must host a podcast. He knows how to close shit out.
Yeah, we love Ryan.
Thank you, guys.
Yay for you, buddy.
I think I'm going to use Tweezer Reprise as my campaign music.
Good.
And we talk about how that is a word, that an interesting English word, because Tim, you say it reprise, and I say it reprise. Kev says it reprise.
Reprise.
So
it's 100% reprise.
Oh,
only in this setting.
Yeah, but you could call it either. It's not 100% either. It's 100% both.
Golgi isn't. Golgi.
No, this isn't Golgi though. This isn't a junta. This is a legitimate intricacy of the English language.
I'm pretty sure it's
and it is acceptable to call it reprise or reprise.
Is this a tomato?
It's not even a colloquialism.
Canadians have to sit this out, even though you're on my side on this one, Brian. Sorry, this is
it's more a potato thing.
You guys don't know how to
bagel.
I say both. I say reprise and reprise, and I think both are right.
Well, I mean, I don't ever talk about the song and say Tweezer reprise. I normally just say Tweetprise. So
yeah, because that's a cool thing to do.
Yes.
All right, fan. Let's go out with some Eve 6.
But you don't say to freeze.
Eve 6, baby.
Tune in next time. I would swallow my pride, I would choke on the rinds, but the lack thereof would leave me empty inside. Swallow my doubt, turn it inside out, find nothing but faith in nothing. I want to turn my tender heart in a blender, watch it spin around to a beautiful oblivion. Rendezvous, then I'm through with you. So Cal is where my mind